I've come to realize that my past doesn't define my worth. It's the choices I make in the present and the lessons I carry with me that shape my future. Looking back at my life, I see how every moment, every person, and every experience has played a role in shaping me into the person I am today. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. The past may have shaped me, but it doesn't hold me back. I choose to learn from it, honor it, and move forward with a heart full of hope and a mind focused on the future. I've learned that the past doesn't need to be forgotten. It just needs to be understood. By embracing it, I've found peace with who I was and who I am becoming. My past is filled with lessons, not failures. Every mistake was a teacher, every hardship was a challenge, and every triumph was a reminder that I am stronger than I once believed. I used to fear looking back, thinking I'd see mistakes and regrets. But now, when I reflect on my past, I see nothing but growth, resilience, and a deep understanding of myself. There are days when my past feels like a weight I can't escape, but then I remember that it's not the past that defines me. It's the way I move forward that matters most. Each chapter of my past has led me to this present moment, and while not every chapter was easy, it's clear now that each one played a vital role in my journey. My past is a story of learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's not perfect, but it's mine, and I'm proud of how far I've come because of it. There's so much to be learned from the past, but it's important to remember that it's not about living in it. It's about taking the lessons and moving forward with purpose. Every day I grow, I look back at my past with more compassion, not just for myself, but for everyone I've encountered. We all have our own stories, and each one is valuable. I used to think that my past was something I needed to hide, but now I see it for what it truly is, a map that shows me how far I've come and the strength I've gained. The past is full of stories that I used to feel embarrassed about, but now I realize those stories are what have shaped my resilience and the person I am today. I've made peace with my past, not by forgetting it, but by understanding it. I no longer let it control me. I've learned to honor it and move forward with clarity. Sometimes the hardest part of reflecting on my past is acknowledging the pain. But once I do, I find that I can let go of it, carry the lessons, and step forward into a brighter future. The past is not a place of shame, but a place of learning. I choose to see it as a teacher, one that has shown me who I truly am and who I'm becoming. I've learned to embrace my past, knowing that every challenge I faced only made me stronger. I wouldn't trade any of those moments because they've led me to where I am today. When I look back, I see a journey filled with both struggles and victories. Each step has been a reminder that growth is never linear, but always worth the effort. The past doesn't define me, but it shapes me. It has taught me to be more compassionate, more resilient, and more aware of the beauty in every moment. My past isn't something I regret. It's something I've learned from. Each experience has helped me become the person I am today, and for that, I am grateful. Looking back at my past is not about living in it, but about appreciating how far I've come. The struggles, the heartaches, and the triumphs have all played a part in my evolution. I've learned that sharing my story is not about seeking sympathy, but about understanding that my experiences can help others. My past is a testament to resilience and growth. When I think about my past, I don't see mistakes. I see opportunities that taught me lessons, shaped my character, and led me to a better version of myself. My past is a reflection of the choices I made, but it doesn't determine my future. The power to create the life I want is in the present and in the decisions I make today. The past is filled with both pain and wisdom. I've learned that it's not the pain that defines me, but how I've chosen to grow and learn from it. I used to think my past was something to hide, but now I know that it's part of what makes me unique. Every part of my story is a chapter worth sharing. The past has a way of shaping us, but it's up to us how we allow it to influence our future. I choose to take the lessons and leave the rest behind. Sometimes looking back at my past feels like looking at a stranger. But when I dig deeper, I realize that the person I used to be is still a part of me, teaching me to appreciate how far I've come. The more I understand my past, the more I realize that the mistakes weren't failures. They were opportunities to grow, evolve, and become the person I am now. I want to tell you honestly about my past, how every moment felt like a chapter of a story I wasn't sure I was ready to write. But now, looking back, I realize that every struggle, every mistake, and every joy led me to who I am today. There are days when I feel like my past is a shadow that lingers, but I've learned to accept it as part of my journey. Each experience has shaped my current thoughts, reminding me of what I've overcome and where I'm headed. Opening up about my past is not just about sharing what I've been through. It's about understanding the lessons that have stayed with me and the feelings that continue to grow as I move forward. I used to hide parts of my past, thinking they were too painful to share. But now I know that being vulnerable is the truest form of strength. Embracing my story allows me to heal and move on with a sense of purpose. There are pieces of my past that still whisper in my mind, reminding me of who I once was. But with each passing day, I find myself letting go of those old identities and embracing the person I am becoming. The more I reflect on my past, the clearer it becomes that everything, both good and bad, had a purpose. My experiences are the silent teachers guiding me toward a better version of myself. It's hard to put into words what my past means to me, but I'll try. It's a tapestry of love, loss, regret, growth, and redemption. A collection of moments that have been both painful and beautiful. Sometimes I wonder how different my life would have been if I had made different choices. But then I remind myself that every decision, every misstep led me here, and here is exactly where I'm meant to be. To be honest, my past wasn't always easy to carry, but as I sit with my feelings today, I realize that each memory, no matter how hard, is a piece of the puzzle that makes me whole. When I look back, I see the mistakes, the heartaches, and the triumphs. But I also see the wisdom that has come from each experience, and I know that every moment, whether painful or joyful, has been a gift. I've learned that the past doesn't define me, it teaches me, and the lessons I've learned along the way are far more valuable than the mistakes I've made. It took time for me to understand that my past isn't something I need to run from. Instead, it's something I can embrace, learn from, and use to move forward with strength and clarity. As I share my story with you, know that it's not just about the things I've done, but the person I've become through it all. Every tear, every smile, every heartbreak has shaped who I am today. The road to self-awareness wasn't always clear, but with every step I took, I began to understand that my past, with all its ups and downs, was never a burden. It was a lesson in disguise. What I've learned most about my past is that it's not the things I've done wrong that matter. It's how I've chosen to move forward and what I've learned from each experience. Looking back at my past, I see it all differently now. The pain that once felt unbearable has turned into wisdom, and the heartbreak that seemed endless has become a reminder of my resilience. I used to fear the parts of my past that I couldn't change, but now I see them as opportunities for growth. They've taught me to be stronger, more compassionate, and more understanding of others. Reflecting on my past, I realize that every setback was a setup for a comeback. Each difficult chapter of my life has led me to the person I am now, and I am grateful for that. My past is a collection of moments that didn't always make sense at the time, but now I see that they were the building blocks of my strength. I wouldn't change a single one, for they led me to where I am today. There are moments in my past that I wish I could rewrite, but I've come to realize that those moments were never meant to be perfect. They were meant to teach me something I needed to know. My past is a map of who I was, but it doesn't define who I will be. With every new experience, I'm writing a new chapter, one filled with hope, understanding, and transformation. I used to think that the past had power over me, but now I understand that it only has the power I give it. By accepting my past, I am free to create my future. When I think about my past, I don't see failure or regret. I see growth. The person I was is not the person I am now, and the person I am becoming is someone even stronger. Every step I've taken in life has led me here, to this moment of reflection. Looking back, I see how everything has contributed to my growth, and I'm grateful for every single experience. The past is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be understood. I've learned that every choice, good or bad, has shaped me into who I am today, and for that, I am thankful.